I think all of what I do is fun. I think I'm very lucky to live the life that I live. I even love school, so for me, everything is kind of fun.
For Mollie Jepsen, the mountains and slopes of Whistler Blackcomb feel like home. Following a family tradition, her parents instilled a love for skiing in her from a young age. She put on her first pair of skis at just 2 years old. Mollie's mother, Abby Milofsky, remembers her drive even at a young age.
She loved being on skis and she loved going fast and wanted to go faster and faster and faster, always.
And faster she went, eventually getting into competitive ski racing. Born missing fingers on her left hand, she initially competed in able-bodied events. However, it was in 2010, during the Olympics and Paralympics held in Vancouver and her beloved hometown of Whistler, that her true goals became clear.
The energy of it, the way that Whistler changed with it, was like, yeah, like for some reason I wanted to be a competitive athlete, and I just was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Although her goals became clear, she soon realized that her journey wouldn't be a smooth one.
When I tore my ACL, it was in May, I think, and I had finally just started having results that season.
The injuries were hard for sure. I mean, obviously harder on Mollie than any of us, but she was only 13.
Then at 15, Mollie tore her ACL yet again, which left her with a difficult decision.
After that, it was just never really a question. It was I can't really see my life without having skiing in it, so I guess I was kind of going to go through it to come out on the other side.
Mollie's former head coach with Para Alpine Canada, Jean-Sébastien Labrie, remembers having doubts when Mollie first joined the team.
I just remember a really young, talented skier. The first camp she came, joined with us, she injured her knee. So that was the start of her career with our team, and definitely was something that we were worried about.
Mollie silenced those worries when she burst onto the Paralympic scene with remarkable performances at the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang.
And the young Canadian is the Paralympic champion of the women's super combined.
Mollie's impressive medal haul included a gold in super combined, along with a silver and 2 bronzes.
Oh, it was so exciting. It was so fun, and just, bursting for sure.
Yeah, it's super amazing. I'm also still not one that likes the attention on me like that. I love the sport and I'm competitive and I want to win, but I don't need everyone to look at me and sing the anthem and stare at me. And I remember being really awkward. There's a picture of me and I'm like, hi, my hands aren't up. They're by my head. They're ah.
Shortly after her achievements, Mollie found herself confronted with a new challenge, this time in the form of a Crohn's disease diagnosis.
Not a huge shock. I had had kind of issues for a long time. It was almost a little bit of a relief, but at the same time it was come on. And then I didn't know how to manage myself after that for a while. I was just so stressed. I didn't really know how to turn it off after the games. It was I didn't know how to train. I was either 0 or 100. There was no middle ground. I think that's pretty common for most athletes. They just don't really know how to do things after the games. You've just been working so hard for something for 4 years, and then it all stops, and so I just didn't stop. I kept training as if the games was in 4 days or a week away for months, and so I think progressively that just started really affecting me and my health and my stress levels.
You know, it's tough to watch her have to continually deal with different things that get thrown at her, but she's Mollie and she always seems to rise above it or find a way to work through it and get to a comfortable position for herself.
Finding that comfort level wasn't easy, but she started to find ways to manage her needs.
By being at school and skiing, I totally reset my system. I started getting healthier again. I would go train for a week and then I could come back to school, and if shit hit the fan skiing, I could come back to school and everything was okay. I was still a human. I still had the same value. It wasn't my whole worth was tied up in my performance as a ski racer.
Finding that balance proved invaluable when the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted her training for the Beijing Games. Despite social isolation challenges, she remained focused and determined. She secured another gold medal in the downhill event and a silver in the giant slalom.
It's Jepsen who is celebrating at the bottom of the hill by 1/10 of a second.
As a crowning achievement, Mollie had the honor of representing Canada as the flag bearer during the closing ceremonies.
It was all super emotional. My coach cried, I cried, my friends cried. I realized how not about me it was, and just how happy I was to have those people with me at the time.
I think even if it's an individual sport, it was amazing to see everybody rally around all the challenges Mollie faced, and it was amazing to see her able to express her talent.
After the games, Mollie received the news that she would require another knee surgery, this time with a longer recovery period. Considering everything she had already endured, it seemed fitting that she stepped back from ski racing.
I knew that I was battling pretty strongly with my mental health, and so I knew I needed to put some focus on that. And I think just seeing what life was like for a minute without my #1 identity being a ski racer. Like, I backpacked Europe for the summer and I was like, whoa, this is the first time I've ever traveled with my skis. And like, just to experience life from a different lens and kind of just take a couple notches down. I mean, I'm still in the gym, I'm still skiing more than I probably ever have, but just like relearning my love for the sport, why I'm here, why I love it in the first place.
Luckily for Mollie, this decision was fully supported by Alpine Canada and her former coach.
Mollie needed time to step back, to have a different perspective on the sport, on the Paralympics, on who she is really as a person into all these last 8 years that were really challenging. So I think she needed to step away, and I think it's a good decision.
Even when taking a break, Mollie always has to be doing something, starting with being a full-time student.
I want to work with athletes, and I want to work with athletes in the gym. So that's what I'm working towards. I'm hoping that a background in psychology and neuroscience will have a bigger impact on the way that I would like to train athletes looks like in the future. And so all of this was sparked from my own injuries for sure, and having grown to love being in the gym and seeing the benefit of that on my own performance. So yeah, that's my plan. It's definitely, I'm not trying to be working full-time for many years. I want to enjoy my 20s and play outside and ski, but that's the goal.
One of the friends she's been having fun with is teammate and fellow Paralympic downhill champion, Mac Marcoux.
When the games were over, you know, she was so burnt out, and I think she was well due for a solid break. So being able to just kind of separate herself from ski racing a little bit and focus on school, and then focus on just playing outside and you know, being 23 years old and having fun.
How good is it?
So good!
That fun includes hiking, backpacking, and biking around beautiful Squamish. But more recently, Mollie has taken up a new adventure that Mac has been helping her with.
In December, I bought a snowmobile, so I've been sledding and learning to sled.
Great time.
It's pretty entertaining to see a little girl hop out of her big Ranger and unload her sled in the parking lot. I think it's always funny.
With her sled, she ventures into the backcountry, accessing larger and more challenging ski lines.
So I've just started to learn like a whole new side of the ski industry, which has been really, really fun and really rewarding, because it was very much like starting at square one. Like, terrible. Like, I felt like I was on like a little kid on the bunny hill again, and it was like super rewarding and fun. I wasn't like frustrated or like angry because I didn't ski well. I was like, I suck and I know I'm gonna suck, and I'm gonna learn from it, and it's gonna be fun.
I'm so happy.
It's been fun to watch her having fun skiing.
So while she's been having fun in the backcountry and trails of beautiful British Columbia, rest assured, she's always thinking of next steps.
This winter has allowed me to be like, yeah, like I cannot see my life without skiing. So it was just important for me to like take a step back and be like, what am I doing here? Do I still want to be in this space? I've just achieved my greatest goals. Now what?
You've reached the pinnacle, really. There's no greater honor than being the flag bearer. You got a couple of gold medals in your pocket, some silver and bronze to go along with it. So, you know that you've done all of those things and be in it because you love ski racing.
She's proved time and time again that she's one of the best skiers in the world in her discipline, and I think that, you know, in some ways it's like riding a bike. You know, might have to knock the rust off a little bit, but when she's ready to get back into it, she'll be climbing back on the podium in no time, I think.
For now, she's just going to enjoy the outdoors.
Being outside for me is just like kind of the end all be all of when I'm not doing super good. So Yeah, hiking, biking, sledding, skiing is all. Yeah, if my life could just be outside all the time, I think I'd be a very happy person.